If your 2009 through 2018 Ram 2500 is due for some new brake pads, then you might want to consider these affordable upgrades from PowerStop. Now, the Z36 carbon fiber ceramic pads will offer a slightly more aggressive pad material compared to your OE replacements or even aftermarket ceramic options, and these can be had all for right around that $100 price point. Now, big features with this particular kit will be the improved stopping power thanks to a more aggressive pad compound when compared to your factory pads or, again, even an aftermarket ceramic. Now, helping with that added stopping power will be the Z36 carbon fiber infused ceramic pads, which have been thermal scorched and are designed to handle the abuse of heavy duty towing or hauling, or even just helping to stop your 3/4 ton truck with a bigger, heavier set of wheels and tires, which is something I think a lot of owners rarely consider, but you strongly should, as a set of 35s or even 37s can weigh in well over 100 pounds per corner. Now, moving to construction, and the Z36 compound here is a unique pad and compound for that matter, and it is built specifically for heavy-duty truck and SUV use and severe duty according to PowerStop. Now, the Z36 pad compound does again consist of that predominantly ceramic material here, but it does have carbon fiber kind of baked in there, if you will, to help strengthen that ceramic compound even more and add a little bit more of that initial bite and more importantly, that heat resistance. Now that's huge, right? Because especially when you're towing or hauling something heavy, brake fade can and will affect your braking performance, and to reduce that fade through a more aggressive material certainly is going to get a big thumbs up from me. Now, the pads themselves again have undergone what is called a thermal scorching process, which does allow them to work a little bit better both new or with new or existing rotors. So that's a biggie too. Maybe you don't feel like replacing your rotors, you really don't have to at this time. You don't have to with a new set of pads such as this. Should you? Never a bad idea, but again, if you don't need to, why spend the extra money? Now, getting back to the Z36 pads here, again, they do feature stainless steel shims for better heat dissipation, and PowerStop does claim that these pads will be a lower dust formula overall. Finally, PowerStop does include a 3-year or 36,000 mile warranty in case you run into any issues. Price point here for the PowerStop front pads will land right around $100 again, give or take a little bit, which does make them slightly more expensive than your generic parts store replacements, but you also have to factor in the fact that you're getting a more aggressive material here that is designed for heavy duty truck use. And again, that is going to help contribute to the higher price point overall when comparing these to a more run-of-the-mill factory ceramic pad. Moving into the install, and the site's gonna call this a solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, taking you about an hour to complete the front from start to finish. And now, to give you a better idea of how this one might go down in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you will need various size pry bars, a 16mm ratcheting wrench, a caliper hanger tool, a caliper compressor tool, and also not shown here is a jack and jack stands. All right, today we're gonna be installing some brake pads on our Ram, so let's get started. All right, so we've got our truck in the air, we've got the wheels off. First thing we're gonna do is take our caliper hanger tool and hang that up on our spring for now. Then we're gonna grab a 16mm ratcheting wrench and break our 2 caliper mounting bolts loose. Got our lower one loose. Now that we have these loose, we're going to remove our 2 bolts, slide our caliper off of our bracket, hang it up out of the way with our caliper hanger tool. Get the caliper off. Sometimes these are a little stubborn. What I'm going to do is grab a pry bar and pry this out. Get under your caliper with your pry bar or a large flathead if that's what you have. Pry this out. Gonna work both sides evenly. Flip this. Get our caliper out of the way. Now we can remove our pads. They're just gonna pop right out like so. Next, we're gonna remove our old clips. Just gonna pop those out. We'll get a small pry tool in here. help us pop these out. Once you have your first one out, you can do the same thing for your other 3 clips. Now once you got this side off, you can repeat the same process for the other side. All right, so before we can install our new pads, we're gonna need to compress our caliper pistons back in so we can have room for our new pads. Now we've got a sacrificial pad here to lay onto the pistons. This is a pretty big caliper. We've got our caliper compressor tool. Press this in. Now we're going to need to install our new pad slider clips. You want to make sure your bigger retainer is on the outside away from your rotors. If you're doing the outer or inner pad, same thing. So just line these up, pop those into place. Then you want to do the same thing for your inner pad. And once you have your clips installed, we can install our new pads. Slide these in. It's a little bit of a dance to get them in here at first. Make sure they seat up nice. We'll do the same thing for our inner pad. Now that we have our pads in, we can reinstall our caliper. Slide that into place. Reinstall our 16mm bolts. Now we'll tighten those back down with our 16mm ratcheting wrench. Now once you've got this side on, you can repeat the same process for the other side. And always remember to torque all of your hardware back down to the manufacturer specifications. And also before you start driving your vehicle, you want to pump your brake pedal a few times to regain that pressure. Alrighty, that about wraps up our review and install of our PowerStop Z36 Extreme Truck and Tow carbon fiber ceramic brake pads for the front of your 09 to 18 Ram 2500. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.